A lot of the content that we work through within our sessions has never been uncovered before. And that always kind of surprises me because I'm not a therapist, but because I'm talking to my clients about money and they're disclosing stuff with me that they've never disclosed with anyone in the world. And because we're looking at everything, we're looking at life through the lens of money, somehow things get disclosed and uncovered and clarified and resolved in a way that hasn't been done before. So I really want to support you guys to talk about this topic. Now, my background is I used to be an independent financial advisor, advising on pension savings, investments, all that stuff, but I broke away from the profession, the traditional profession, because I felt there was a need for something else, some guidance support with money that was nothing to do with products. And I separated myself out from the industry and I set myself up as a coach, and I trained to become a coach, and I integrated the technical stuff with the behavioral stuff. And then I became really interested in why we don't do what we know we need to do, and how can I help clients shift behavior. So it's not just on the practical side of things, it's very much on a blend of practical and emotional. Now, what I'm sharing with you in helping you think about the topic of money with your clients, we're not expecting the practical side of money, but the emotional side of money is a big part of it. One of my clients, he spoke about the genius, as he called it, of working with clients and money, in that it's an area of life that touches everybody. So in money, we instill hopes and dreams and fears and shame. And when you look at life through the lens of money, it gives access to behavior, emotion, and the unconscious workings of belief. And that's the bit that I want us to get to all of that today. But it's just looking at life through the lens of money, somehow different stuff comes up and more clarity about what's driving thoughts, behavior, action. So the first part, we'll talk about awareness of your own story and beliefs a little bit, and then some of the hidden dynamics with our clients. And then let's think about tools and insights, what you can take away and integrate into your own work. So if we think about the different dynamics of life that we want to be in balance with, and we want our clients to be in balance with, money is a topic that is part of this wheel. So, should this be a topic that we bring in almost every time, because it is a relationship. We talk about relationships with significant others. We talk about relationships with friends and family, our relationship with our work. Let's also talk about our relationship with money. Financial well-being is becoming a bigger thing in the UK, a bigger thing amongst employees. So feeling secure and in control of your finances. And it plays a role in every area of your life, the decisions that you're making in terms of potentially work, relationships, all kinds of things. And we know that money is one of the biggest causes of stress, and it's one of the biggest reasons for divorce. So the conflicts between couples where they think, feel, behave about money, their stories, their narrative around money is very different, can create a lot of conflict, right? It could be that one is very much a spender and the other is very much a saver. They may have very different beliefs about money that could massively impact the way they handle their relationship and the way they make decisions about purchasing property or saving for the future, or how they give money away to their kids. So it's a topic of importance. And then if we think about it, money is so much more than just notes and coins. What money means to each of us individually is usually just beneath the surface. And this is still one of the remaining taboo topics. So people are much more comfortable talking about their sex lives than they are talking about money. If you think about how often you might talk to somebody about how much they earn or how much they save or how much they've got invested, we're less likely to do things like that, and we're much more likely to talk about our relationships with our friends. So what money means to us drives the way that we spend, the way that we save, the way that we invest, what we give away, but it's usually relatively unconscious. So think about that for yourself for a moment. What does money mean to you? So what does money mean to you? So is it, what is it really? What's the truth of money? And what's when you think of money, what words emerge for you? So just take a moment. I mean, it would be great if one or two of you would share. That's lovely. So nurture, safety, control, empowerment, freedom, security, pride. These are nice words. So security could be a strong positive thing. It could be the reason for saving, but it could also mean that it stops you from doing something because it feels too insecure. So I've had clients that have been offered voluntary redundancy and realized that there is no money in the world that would enable them to feel secure. And even though there's a project that there's a self-employed business that they want to start, they're too frightened to do that because they don't feel the security, status, survival, being able to solve problems. So we can see, even just with your responses, right? There's so many different meanings that we attach to money. So I'll share some of the ones that have come from clients. So love, sometimes it's a way of demonstrating love for some people. And there's lots of negative associations with it's a measure of success or lack thereof of success. So we can feel pretty good in our lives, but then you notice the cars other people are driving or what they're showing on their Instagram feeds and feel that you're not keeping up. So it's a whole host of different feelings attached to, or meanings that we attach to money. For some people, it's a source of fear or shame. There's a lot of, so I get a lot of clients that feel a lot of guilt associated to money. There's a lot of secrecy. There's a lot of anxiety and feeling like they feel mature when it comes to every other area of their life. Like they feel like they've nailed jobs and relationships, they've got that bit under control. But when it comes to money, they feel like a 9-year-old. And it's something they want to run away from. For others, it's a source of power. It might be within their family that there's been conflicts within, somebody died and one person inherited and the other person didn't, and it's a source of power and control. So it's a whole host of different feelings and associations that people have with money, and some people run away from it as a result.